Hello everyone and welcome to this new ASMR video. Maybe you noticed that I have a new microphone and yes, I purchased a little bit new things. I have some kind of new setup. So also I realized that one of my previous videos, do you like more than average? Because I have more views and more comments. So I decided to use my new part of my setup and use that previous game dynamic that I have in that previous video. And that is basically the idea or this video is to relax and relieve while you basically enjoy this ASMR video and try to guess which are the new devices that I purchased for my setup. It is no new setup. It is just some, for example, this low profile arm you don't see on the video, this microphone, audio interface, and well, you try to guess that. So let's dive into it. So the first thing that you will try to guess I purchased, it is this that is visible. It is a microphone. If you know a lot about microphone, maybe you already know which specific brand is this one. But even if you don't know anything about brands, about microphones, stands, arms, audio interface, all those kind of things, the idea is that you try to guess. Doesn't matter, and you don't know to know about all that kind of technology. Just try to guess the brand. So let's get started with the microphone. So I consider a lot of brands when I made my research into the YouTube, blogs, and many other platforms. And I just put here three different brands, and you are trying to guess which this specific brand I purchased the microphone. So the first brand that I put here is AKG, AKG. Well, I don't know the pronunciation. I'm sorry for that. But A, K has in kilo, and G has in George. Well, AKG brand. That is the first brand that I consider. The second one is Rode. Maybe you notice or know a little bit about this. Pretty much microphones that there are a lot of setups on YouTube and many other platforms. So that's the second brand that I consider. And the third one, it is this one. It is Audio Technica. I just simplify with A and T. So Audio Technica, Rode, or AKG. So which of these brands do you think that I purchased? So basically, is this a specific brand of the microphone? You don't need to know about anything about this brand, as I consider many other brands. But at the end, I just simplified in these three brands. So basically, you have 33.3% of possibilities to guess which is the brand. So I'll reduce that to 50%. So it is not an Audio Technica microphone. This is not an Audio Technica. Okay, so discard that, and we have these two brands. And I consider reviews and many other characteristics from the microphone, also the price, but it's a balancing between price and the quality of the microphone. So the microphone that you are listening me right now is this one. Is a Rode. This is our NT1 Rode. It is not so basic. It is a pretty good microphone. So yes, this is the microphone. Is the Connection XLR. So it is a pretty good, awesome microphone. So let me know in the comments below if maybe you guessed which specific brand I purchased. So let's move forward with the next thing that I purchased. You don't see on the screen or in the camera, but it is an audio interface. That was something that I had to make my own research because I wanted to purchase not the most expensive, because you can find those kind of interface even more than $1,000. I want a pretty decent interface, and I found different brands, but in this case I just select 4 different brands. So you are going to have 25% of possibilities to guess. The first brand that I consider to purchase is a Focusrite. Maybe I don't. Focusrite. Focusrite audio interface. So this was one of the brands that I considered. The second one brand that I considered is SSL. That means something I don't remember pretty well. I don't remember pretty well, but most of the people know as SSL. State logic, solid state logic, something like that. That is the second one. The third one that I found that I want to purchase is Audient. Audient is another brand for audio interface. But there are many other brands. And the fourth the brand that I consider for this game, it is Motu interface. So this interface that you are listening to me right now, it is a Motu, it is a SSL, could be a Focusrite, or maybe Audient. Motu has 4 possibilities, 25% chances that basically you guess. Let's make this even more interesting. You can try to guess. Let me know in the comments which of these brands is the first brand that I'm going to discard. So we are going to reduce the possibilities up to 33.3%, the same possibilities with the microphone brand. So the first I'm going to discard, it is this one. It is not an audio interface. So let's discard this. So you still have the brand that you select at the beginning, because the idea of this game is that you select one of the brands and then I'm going to discard each one of them, and then you still waiting if the brand that you select was the brand that I purchased for these specific new parts of my setup. So basically it is not Audient. So we have these 3 brands: Motu, SSL, and Focusrite. So, no, it is no Motu audio interface. So, do you have your brand between these 2 brands? SSL, and as I say, I made a lot of research about different audio interfaces and the possibilities, connections, and many other things. And basically, for this first upgrade for my setup, I consider the price, the quality, and many other factors. Because in the future, obviously, I'm going to purchase an even better microphone and interface, laptop, and all those kind of things. But well, let's going back to this. So my audio interface, it is a solid state logic. I don't remember, it is that SSL, or it is a Focusrite. 50% possibilities. So well, my new audio interface, it is a Focusrite. It is a Scarlett Solo Generation 3, and it is cheap. It is pretty good. That was that I listening at the beginning. I make my own tests. The last couple of days I've been making different tests, set up all the settings with this specific audio interface to achieve the best possible quality audio for these ASMR videos. So Rode microphone NT1, Focusrite Scarlett Solo 1. So that is with those things. I also purchased a hub, a USB hub, but I don't going to make a game with that because there are no many brands, maybe 2 or 3 brands, but it is something that I don't consider important for this video. I'm going to make with the audio interface, the microphone, and also you don't see here, but I have a low profile stand for my microphone. I consider also 5 brands, and I made my own research once again into the YouTube, blogs, other social media and different platforms. But well, I bring here three of the brands that I consider for this stand, low profile for my microphone. The first, it is a newer brand, could be a newer. I saw that it is a good low profile support for microphone. I make a look about it is good. I don't say if I purchase this or no. I don't know you. What do you think? But in my research, I found that it's pretty good. Also, another brand that is pretty much famous into different e-commerce platforms, Elgato. Elgato low profile arm for a microphone. So also I made my research with this one. So what do you think about this one? It is Elgato or is a newer? And the last one, it is another brand. It is not so much newer that other brands Elgato and newer. It is Maono. Maybe it's a brand pretty similar to newer because have different devices, microphones, audio interfaces, and many other things. And I think in this possibility too because I made reviews into the YouTube. We made all that just to consider if I'm going to put my money into this option. Also, I found another is Fifi, someone like that. But other 2 or 3 brands. So we have newer, Elgato, and Maono. So we have these 3 different brands. Which brand do you select for this challenge ASMR cast or whatever? So we are going to discard one of these low profile supports to reduce these possibilities. Just right now is 33.3% of possibilities. So reduce that to 50%. So let me take a look here and we are going to discard the newer. I found a lot of videos about this. It looks that it's a really good low profile arm for microphone, but there are some things that I don't like. It is because the last part of the arm, it is too much big and maybe have too much articulations into the arm. So maybe if I keep opportunity of this in the future, I'm going to give you a review or something like that, but this is definitely not what I choose. So we have these 2 possibilities: Maono, Elgato, Maono. 50% of possibilities. The brand that you select is still in my options and that I have in my hands. So it is going to be Elgato, sorry, or Maono. So which of this is the low profile arm for my microphone Rode NT1? Which I select? So at the end, I found that the microphone arm lower profile that I select is Maono. That another brand, Elgato, is pretty much no, and probably have even better arm for microphone than this one that I purchased. But I didn't select that first for the price, and second one because there are some specs from this arm that I decide to select. Something that I don't like about this arm that I purchased is that the brand, it is on both sides. You don't see on the camera, but it is a yellow brand that is too bright. Basically, I don't like that. So even once I purchase, I take black paint and cover that brand. And maybe in the future I give my opportunity to Elgato, because at the end the two options that I have is Elgato and this one, and was a little bit hard to select. But at the end I think this is gonna be a really good, is a good arm, and it is basically the price. And I think that Elgato, I don't know, is overestimated the brand. I don't say that that is not the real value. The other thing is that I use an app that basically gives you historical about the prices, and in that part of the time the Maono had a lower price, was a good deal. So well, I choose Maono for the brand. So well, how do you think about this ASMR guest game? It's pretty much interesting, no? So in this, I don't show that, but well, I hope that you didn't see that. Suppose that you don't see that paper, and well, even if you show it didn't show so too much. So when I was searching for microphone brands, I realized that was one brand that definitely is gonna be one of my future microphones. Because, well, just to give you some parentheses, you will find a lot of different good, awesome microphones with incredible high quality for ASMR or podcasts and many other things. And I realized that at the end, even if you purchase a $3,000 microphone, $3,000 microphone, or 100, well, maybe 200 and 3,000, you don't notice difference between 200 and 3,000, and it is basically because at the end, when you upload the video into the YouTube, basically YouTube compress the audio and the video and reduce the quality of the audio. So basically, if you made the high quality audio with the $3,000 microphone and the 200, at the end on YouTube you will listen in no difference between each another. Maybe one microphone is a little bit brighter and the other is more warm, more calm, but at the end you don't notice the difference. But even with that, I liked this kind of devices, the laptops, screens, microphones, all those kind of things, even the audio interface. And I keep learning about different things because I want to improve even more my ASMR videos, lights, and many other things. I'm keep learning, and I'm pretty sure that I never end to finish learn these kind of topics. But well, that was a parenthesis. I have in my hand one brand that I want to purchase in the future. Doesn't matter the reference of the microphone, it is the brand. So just right now, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes while I'm talking about this topic. you can make your own research about microphone brands. You will find different from those first brands that I give you at the beginning of the video: AKG, Rode, Shure. Well, there are a lot of brands. There are some brands that are more traditional and with higher technology, and there are singers that use that kind of microphones. But you can make a short research just to look if we have a telepathy. This is a telepathy game. I don't going to give you any options. I just want to know if maybe you and I are connected through this platform, through this screen, and maybe you can try to guess which specific brand I want to purchase in the future for my videos, even if you don't notice the difference between the quality from this microphone and that microphone that I'm going to purchase in the future. This microphone is $160, $159. And that microphone that I found, it is $1,000, but there are options that is $1,300. So obviously it is more than 6 times this current microphone. But once again, you don't notice the difference in the future when I purchase that. But even with that, I just want to purchase because I made my own research and found an incredible and awesome brands for microphones and many other things. So I'm sorry, maybe I showed the brand and I scroll this, but I want that you make your short research and try to guess if the brand that I want to purchase in the future maybe is the brand that you found just right now. You don't need to make a deeper research. You can ask to any AI, or maybe you can put into a browser more famous brands of microphones, something like that, and maybe you found the more famous, or maybe you already know about that because maybe you know a lot about microphones or something like that. But well, I give you the time for make your own research, and I'm going to reveal which specific brand of microphone I want to purchase in the future. Just right now, I have in my mind maybe 2 or 3 different references from that brand. I give you more ideas. It is a German brand, and I think that Germany have an incredible products, because if you take a look, the lens about Leica and Carl Zeiss, that are 2 of the more famous lens from cameras, but they are Audi. Well, that is for another video. I'm start talking about different things, and I change the dynamic about this video. But I'm going to reveal which specific brand I'm going to purchase in the future. One microphone. I don't think pretty much about the reference. I have some in my mind, so let's connect you and I. So can you guess which specific brand I'm going to purchase in the future? One of their microphones? Well, maybe you guessed, maybe no. It is Neumann. The pronunciation could change. It is German or English, have even 3 pronunciation. But I found this brand. It is awesome on microphone. That doesn't mean that it's bad or Shure or all those brands. But I started loving this brand for microphones. That was some kind of parenthesis and was an incredible, more high level challenge for this game. Try to guess, but we still have more. So let's going back to the basics about try to guess. So just right now, think a number between 0 and 10, even the number 10. So I already put a number in one of my papers into my posits, and I want that you think in what number. You can put in your mind. You can write on a paper. So it is going to be a number between 0 and 10. You got it? Which number do you select? Because I select the number 7. Okay? So that was another interesting game. Let's make the same, but now with the letters. And just make with the vowels. I don't know the pronunciation, but it is between A, E, I, O, U. Basically, you have 20% of possibilities to guess which specific letter I choose for this video. Could be the A, could be the E, could be the I, could be the O, or even the U. 5 possibilities, 20% of possibilities to win into this game. So, you got it? Which letter did you choose? I select the letter A. 7A. You have some kind of idea, because when I put the number 7, you can see behind the letter A. I just try to give you more some ideas about which I select. So let's move forward with the next game. It is the same game. Basically, it is the next thing that you try to guess into this video. Now we are going to play it with a color. You need to select color. So basically, I don't know, this could be 10% possibilities, but we're not going to use a weird color. I don't know. It is a general color. So the general colors could be red, green, blue, yellow, orange, pink, purple. I don't know what else, but could be 7 colors. Let's make once again. Blue, yellow, red, green, orange, pink, and purple. So yes, there are 7 possibilities. Just right now I have those 7 possibilities. You don't need to think about more possibilities or a weird color. No. Could be a color between these 7 colors. Blue, red, yellow, orange, green, pink, purple. So between those 7 possibilities, 7 is a really good number. 7 possibilities. I don't know exactly how much percentage do you have about guess this, but well, I already put the name of that specific color into one of my posits papers. So you are going to select one of those between those 7 possibilities. Do you got it? Most of the people, it is going to choose one color, but it is not that. That is one advantage that I'm going to give you. Most of the people are going to select one of the most popular colors. If you choose that, it's not that one. It's not. Maybe you think in blue is the most popular color, but it's not the blue color. That is the first idea. And well, with that, we reduce all of this to 6 possibilities. Maybe you are passionate about different things, feel love and those kind of things. So if you select the red, no, it is not the red. Maybe, I don't know, you really like to go to the nature, and when you go to the nature, you will see a lot of green. So it is a green? No, it is not a green color. So we discard three: the blue, the green, and the red. So, when you think about yellow, what do you think about yellow? Could be, I don't know, I don't have too much ideas about yellow color. Maybe from what the bathroom, I don't know, but do you think about it is the yellow color? Well, it is not the yellow color. That it is not my choice. But maybe, do you like a fruit that is delicious, and that specific fruit represent also a color? So it is a match between the fruit and the color. So do you think about orange? You select the orange? Because if you select the orange, that was my choice. Orange color. So yes, I select the orange as a color. So it's ironic because I put the orange into purple paper, pink, but I don't know what is exactly the difference between pink and purple. The women's used to fight a lot for difference between colors. That is a purple, that is a pink, whatever. It is an orange. And which specific color do you think that is this paper is? I'm going to let that debate in the comments. Do you think this color is pink? Is purple? That remind me one singer, Purple Rain. Well, maybe you know which specific singer I'm talking about. So now we're going to make a debate. We are going to make that you fight with your friends, with your family, or maybe with the people in the comments. I don't know, but I don't want that you fight, because at the end, the idea of this video is to enjoy and relax and relieve the stress of day by day. So I have the last one, a divination, the last thing that I put into the paper. This is more for boys, but even if you are a girl, you will maybe guess, even if it is a question about brands. You don't need to. If you are a girl, you will feel more peacefully because you only need to guess the brand. You don't need to debate against other people which brand is better. This brand have this one, this another one, or those kind of things. You only think in the brand and left debate and all those kind of things for other people. So that is my suggestion. So this last part of this game challenge could be a reflection for the life, because you will find a lot of people out there that basically think that's his football team, or I don't know, whatever that they believe is going to be the best. And at the end, that doesn't mean anything, because you are not going to convince others the thing that you believe it is going to be true or no. Basically, we live in a time that you don't talk with others, you talk against others, because it's really hard that you made others understand your point of view. That is really hard. And this last part of this ASMR challenge guess game is that learn that you don't have to debate or discuss about some things that at the end are irrelevant. Okay? And which is this specific topic that I'm talking about? It is video game consoles, because I like the video games. In this specific selection, we select just three video consoles or brands. They are Nintendo, Xbox from Microsoft, and PlayStation from Sony. So basically, those are the three brands. I found into social media that people debate and discuss about which is better. But when I try to make a point of view about this, during all my life, I've been enjoying different games from Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox. And I don't conceive a life without one of those brands, because if I think about Nintendo, I remember the Nintendo 64, even the NES, the Nintendo Family Entertainment System. That was the first console that my older brother had, and I enjoyed that console too. But I also really enjoyed the PlayStation 1 with Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and many other video games with the Nintendo also, because in Nintendo you can conceive your childhood without that if you have or similar to my age. There are many good consoles from Nintendo 64, NES, Wii U. Well, a lot of even the last consoles are pretty awesome. Microsoft doesn't have the best consoles, because the second console, the Xbox 360, had a lot of problems. But even with that, I also enjoy a lot of one of those video games, Halo and Gears of War. In this case, Halo when I was in the high school, and Gears of War when I was a little bit older, when I played Gears of War with one of my brothers and my familiar. The thing is, I played a lot of, and I invested a lot of time into the Halo, but more into the Gears of War. Well, at the end, it doesn't matter. It is Nintendo, it is Xbox, or it is PlayStation, because I enjoy each one of those consoles from each one of those brands or companies. But even with that, just right now, I have the paper on my hand. I select just one of those three brands: Nintendo, Xbox, or PlayStation. So you try to guess which of those three different brands I prefer. And when I say I prefer, that doesn't mean that I going to be 100% preference from that specific console. Just, I don't know, maybe it's 40% for that specific brand, 30% for Nintendo, and 3% for the other brand. So maybe I give you just right now an idea. And after that, I'm going to give you why I decide to select this specific brand. So you keep in mind those three brands: Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation. 233.3%, this is the number from this video, to select one of those brands. So let's discard the first one. The first brand that I'm going to discard for this last game is going to be Nintendo. Stay calm. I know that Nintendo is a pretty wonderful, huge, awesome brands for video consoles. It is more familiar console because I play a lot of video games with Nintendo consoles with a lot of my friends from my childhood, from the high school. Even at my age, I still play video games from old consoles and from the new ones, and I'm still enjoy, because it's that console that when you are younger you have two controls and you can play GoldenEye, Mario Kart, many other things. It is good, wonderful console. But why I discard this console? It is basically because the video games of this console is strange that reduce the prices. Basically, if you see just right now the price for one video game and you maybe made a search after a couple of months, the price is going to be exactly the same or could be even higher. That is part of the quality of the Nintendo, because basically if you purchase a video game, that video game you can sell for almost the same price. It is a good part of all of this. But it is something that I don't really like it. Maybe you think, but if you don't have the money, it's because you are poor and whatever. But I am going to talk about that debate just right now. Just the prices. Just that. It is something that is not too much relevant for this. But yes, I discard Nintendo. So we just right now we have Xbox and PlayStation, 50% of possibilities. And we have advantage and no advantage for each one of these brands. And in the last couple of months, I start preferred one of those brands for specific things. So I'm going to give you my choice between those two brands, and then I'm going to finish the video what I select that specific brand. So, do you select Xbox? Do you select PlayStation? Which of those, even Nintendo, do you prefer? You can let me know in the comments below, but I prefer PlayStation. And why I prefer PlayStation? Well, but at the end, this wasn't a really hard decision because, as I say before, I enjoy a lot of video games for each one of these consoles. But at the end, I just discard for some different things that it is not too much relevant. For example, I discard Nintendo for the price. It is not much relevant, but advantage, disadvantage, all those kind of things. And I discard in this part Xbox first because it's the most new console, doesn't have too much history, but I know that they have more than 25 years of history in many other incredible video games, Halo and many others. But that was just a little bit. The other one is because if you remember pretty well, the Xbox 360 was an awful console. That Reign of the Dead that appears into that console was something that never happened to me. But I know a lot of people that have to purchase even 3 or 4 consoles because of that. And that is something that could be really bad for your reputation. It's ironic that even with that, Microsoft still having a really good reputation. But well, the last thing that made me select PlayStation over Microsoft, over Xbox, it is that a few months ago, Microsoft decided to share all the video games from Xbox to PlayStation. For me, that is gonna be awesome. But I start thinking about all those people that purchase a Xbox console, the Series S or X, just because they want to play those exclusive video games. And at the end, they think, well, I can purchase a PlayStation and it doesn't have any relevance. And because I just right now I don't have one of the last consoles, I keep thinking if I'm going to purchase a PlayStation or Xbox Series X or S. But with that specific decision, I'm pretty sure that my next console is gonna be a PlayStation. Why? It is because into the PlayStation I can play all the video games from PlayStation, but also video games from Xbox. So that doesn't matter if you have an Xbox. So if you think about that, it could be something good or bad. At the end, I think that is good because if I'm going to purchase a PlayStation, I can play video games from PlayStation and Xbox. I don't have to purchase both consoles, just one. But well, at the end, this is the last part long video game that you try to guess with a little bit parenthesis and history about all those kind of things. And I hope that you really enjoy this new ASMR video. I make my own investments into this microphone, the audio interface, the arm, and I'm still invest my money into this channel because I really, really enjoy to create this kind of videos, and I'm still learning how to improve my audio, the video, and many other things. So I don't care if basically not all the people are going to enjoy my videos, but eventually that is something that all the creators are searching for, because it is, how to say, well, if you invest time, money, research, learning, and many other things creating something, you wait to receive something in exchange. And in this case, for YouTube, it is subscribers, viewers, comments, and all those kind of things. Because just right now I invest in a lot of time and money, and I don't receive money, and I don't have a complaint about that. That was the beginning about YouTube. When you create YouTubes for YouTube so many years ago, you don't receive anything. Basically, it was an investment just for joy, and that's part of me. I make investment in this channel for joy, but with the time, my goal is to obviously have an incredible numbers of subscribers, views, and the people, especially this last one, not only the viewers and the views and subscribers, something that as a creator do you really enjoy is the comments. When someone say, oh, that wasn't a pretty good video, and comments like that, even the bad comments, when they have that bad intention to, I don't know, annoy the creator, for me that I don't put attention in that. And sometimes even the bad comments make my day. But well, this was a pretty long video. I hope that you really enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope that you have a really good day, wonderful week, and amazing life. See you in the next ASMR video. Bye bye.